So what's the solution? Right? What's the solution? This is going to be harsh. But one thing I'm going to tell you is that I'm always going to be honest with you. I'm always going to be transparent. I'm always going to be honest. And I'm going to tell you the absolute positive truth. What's the solution? Right? I'm going to give you two different solutions. I'm going to give you the solutions for the men, and I'm going to give you the solutions for the women. And then I'm going to add the context, okay? Let's start with the men. The solution for the men, and I want to add the context before I even really give you the solution, right? For example, I was on a panel on Monday night, and shout out to all of my Monday night panelists. If you did not watch the live stream, it was absolutely awesome. Shout out to Q for putting together a great panel. I seen a woman or women go against me based off of the idea that I was just a man, right? When you see the Jess Hilariouses and all of these different women that's on these platforms saying that, hey, listen, who gonna protect black women? Especially now that men are in our sports and they identifying as us and they walking in our bathrooms and they fucking on us and all of this other type of stuff, right? Who gonna defend these women, right? And this is largely a set of women that did this based off of the fact that they went against the men that was warning them, because no man advocated for them to be able to hang out with dudes that wasn't supposed to be with them, and they was calling them bad bitches while they was fucking them on the side and all of that. Because Neve on Monday said it. He said, listen, yeah, I was hanging out with my homegirls. Neve was the trans that was on the panel on Monday night that added the additional context. And he said, yeah. And he was talking in a deep voice like this. He said, yeah, I used to hang out with my homegirls, and sometimes we would get drunk and we would fool around and I would fuck on them, right? And so women advocated for this. They advocated for all of the different egregious atrocities that you see in society today, right? And so when you take that into consideration, and I put myself on a chopping block, because in real life, I don't suffer the consequences that I suffer online. But online, I don't have to worry about suffering consequences because it doesn't affect me in real life, right? And so what you've seen happen on Monday night was, even though they were arguing with the person that they were disagreeing with, when I then jumped in to say, listen, what you got going on over here, big dog, is a lie. You pretending to be something that you're not. You're really a biological male. You over here fucking on women. Admittedly, you told me that you still over here fucking on your friends and all of this other shit, right? And so listen, all of that talking that you're doing and all of this stuff that you keep advocating for, I'm not really feeling it. What I seen, and it happened before our very eyes, was women then come against me, even though I was doing the thing that was in their best interest. So, the solution for fellas is this: let them fall. Let them fail. Let them flounder. And then let them suffer. You will never, ever, and this goes for even your personal relationships, get the submission that you need if they don't understand that it's got to be consequences and extreme failure and suffering if you do not get under my covering and do the shit that you're supposed to do and add the value that you're supposed to add into this conversation. Maybe next week we can go in and we can evaluate and I can break down exactly what you need to be giving, because I think that women they need the solutions too. I'm sympathetic to the idea that maybe you don't even understand what value to a man is. So maybe next week, when we do this live stream on Wednesday, I will break down to you exactly what it is that you should be doing in order to add value into a man's life. But that's a completely different live stream, right? Here's the key. You have to let them fail. You have to let them flounder, and you have to let them suffer, and you got to let them go through it. Suffering creates the best type of people, men and women, but men inherently suffer just by default because that's what it takes in order to be a man. You have to let them go through it. You got to let her go. Do not save her from herself. When you see these women out here and they are getting their ass kicked, remind them and then step back and then do like this and just let them go through it. Let them go through it. They created it for themselves. You cannot save them from themselves because they will not learn the lesson. This is not because we don't love you. It's not because we're not inherently built to just by default go in and protect you. But we can't help you if you don't want to help yourself. And if all you're going to do is turn around and stab us in the back when we then go over here to defend you, it does not create a conducive environment for the families that we still looking to build in order to solve for the problems that's within our communities, right? If you want to get a strong society, if you want to get a strong environment, if you want to build a phenomenal culture, the culture is only going to go as far as how strong the men are. For some reason, y'all been watching these Woman King videos and you've been watching Marvel fuck up the Marvel Cinematic Universe by continuing to create these woman leads, and you think that that's what society is supposed to be. I will tell you this. Marvel is on a path to lose over $800 million in one quarter because they fumbled the fucking bag and they didn't stick with what it was that they were supposed to do in the first place, which is continue to put out great content based off of the things that we loved and we knew that was great automatically. The motherfucking Spider-Mans and Thors and all of that shit. But next thing you know, we see Captain fucking Marvel leading the Marvel Cinematic Universe and we don't want to see that shit. You gotta let them fail. And you got to let them fail spectacularly. You have to let them fail spectacularly, right? I mean, you have to let them get to a point to where they're begging and pleading. And oh my God, is nothing that we can do if you don't come in and put your dick inside of what it is that we got going on over here in order to save us from ourselves. Because we thought we wanted to get into that bush. We thought that we wanted that girl bussy. We thought that we wanted to go over here and be friends with these people, but they are beating our ass uncharacteristically beating our ass because we thought that they was our bad bitches, but we didn't realize that they still got shoulders. They still got these broad ass, big ass hands. You can't reduce the size of these motherfuckers' feet, and they putting that size 12 Timberland boot in our ass. They are putting that size 12 Timberland boot. They said that they identified as a woman, but that size 12 Timberland boot, you can't feminize that. You can't feminize that size 12. And they stomping the fuck out of us. Fifi, you still don't get it, Fifi. You still don't get it, Fifi. Listen, the only way that you can come back and fix this is to let me give the women a solution. Let me get the women a solution. I want you to get the solution too. I don't want to leave you out there, all right? The first thing that you got to do, Fifi, is you have to stop feeling entitled. You don't deserve anything, right? You don't deserve anything. The first thing that you have to do, Fifi, is you have to bring yourself back to the front of the congregation and you got to apologize. Now, I know that's a lot.